everyone, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be taking up class 9th economics chapter 2, people as resource. Now before I start explaining the chapter, I will give you one statement. Just think what comes to your mind after listening to my statement. And my line is that India is the second largest populated country in the world after China. Now when I say that, what most of y'all would be thinking about is population explosion. So when anybody talks about population, जो पहली चीज हमारे सबके दिमाग में आती है is the problems associated with population. So all of y'all must be thinking that if the population is going up at that alarming rate, how will the government be able to manage the food for the growing population, its shelter, education, health facilities? How will all that be arranged when the population is increasing and the resources are definitely limited? So children, we always tend to, overlook the good side or the positive side related to population, and we always tend to look at the negative or the problems related to population. So with this chapter, people as resource, I would like to tell you and like to explain you that people are not always a liability or a burden. People, on the other hand, are the biggest asset that an economy or a country can have. Now, what do we mean by assets or liabilities? So, asset is anything that is of value. Anything that is of value, anything or any person that is of value to the country is its asset. And on the other side, anything that is a burden on the economy, that is a burden on the country, is a liability. So through the medium of this chapter, we are trying to explain you that the people are the biggest asset that a country can have. Now if you all remember, in chapter number 1, we've already studied a concept called the factors of production. So what were factors of production? Factors of production are the prerequisites needed for production. Production करने के लिए जिन चीज़ों की ज़रूरत होती है, जिनके बिना production नहीं हो सकता, वो होता है factors of production, which are broadly 4: land, labor, physical capital, and the human capital. Now children, what I want to tell you here through factors of production is that ऊपर के तीनों factors, land, labor और capital, किसी भी use का नहीं है if we do not have the people, the human capital, who will be working on the above 3 factors. So without actually the human capital, all the other factors of production are waste. Now let us try and understand कि ये human capital बनता कैसे है. How does human capital formation takes place? So far हमें इतना तो समझ में आ गया है कि लोग liability नहीं है, burden नहीं है, rather वो एक economy के लिए, एक country के लिए सबसे बड़े asset है. तो ये asset formation होता कैसे है, human capital formation होता कैसे है? So let us look here. Human capital formation takes place when there is an investment made on the education and health of the people. अगर हम लोगों की education में और उनकी health पे invest करेंगे, so that will lead to human capital formation. I will just take an example here. Let us take, there are 2 people. There's person A, let's say Sakal, and there is person B, let's say Vilas. So हम एक story ले रहे हैं 2 बच्चों की, एक सकल है और एक विलास है. This is the same story that is there in the NCERTs. I'm taking that up as an example. सकल एक फार्मर का बेटा है, जो फार्मर खुद पढ़ा लिखा नहीं है, वो फार्मिंग करता है अपनी वाइफ के साथ. उसका बेटा है सकल और 2 दूसरे फार्मर्स हैं, उनका बेटा है विलास. दोनों फार्मर अपनी अपनी फील्ड्स पे काम करते हैं. एक ने अपने बेटे को पढ़ाया लिखाया, उसको वैक्सीनेशंस दी और वो बड़ा होके कंप्यूटर इंजीनियर बन गया. उसने कंप्यूटर में एक छोटी सी एक वोकेशनल कोर्स करा और लेट्स से वो कंप्यूटर में स्किल्ड हो गया. when he's got that skill in computers, he goes and does a job for a company, and he develops a software for the company through which even the company earns. तो आप देख रहे हैं जैसे हम एक बच्चे को एजुकेट करते हैं ओवर द इयर्स, 14 to 16 इयर्स की हम उसे एजुकेशन दे रहे हैं, तो उसके अंदर हम क्या डेवलप कर रहे हैं, हम उसमें नॉलेज इनकलकेट कर रहे हैं, हम उसमें स्किल्स डेवलप कर रहे हैं, which leads to human capital formation. Also, one very important thing that we are doing here, that we are taking care of the health of the child. So if a person is I'm sorry, if the person is healthy, then of course his productivity will be far more than a person who is unhealthy. So if a healthy person, if a skilled person works, he not just earns for himself, but he's trying to be productive, and he's bringing a lot of productivity to the country. So it is not just him who's being benefited out of the skill and the knowledge and his good health, but it is the country as a whole which is getting benefited from this person. So coming back to my example of Sakal and Vilas, so there is this boy Sakal and there is another boy Vilas. So Sakal is both are children of farmers. This one, Sakal, is uneducated. He did not go to any school, did not attend any classes, so he remains uneducated. Because he remains uneducated, he could not get a job. So he could not get a job because he is unskilled. And over the years, let's say he has also developed a health problem, उसको arthritis हो गई, तो अपनी सारी जिंदगी वो अपने पेरेंट्स की तरह सिर्फ फार्मिंग ही करता रह गया. He could not do anything more than that. On the other hand, Vilas, who was educated and who was skilled, and also the parents looked after his education and health basically, and he was healthy, so he could get a good job. So this one could not get a job, this one got a job, and in the process he also understood the value of health. So he kept investing on his health also, he looked after his health and was being more productive for the country and definitely for himself. So you see, when we invest on the education and health of a person, जब हम किसी की हेल्थ पे, किसी की एजुकेशन पे हम इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, तो वो एक नॉर्मल पर्सन बन जाता है एक रिसोर्स, बन जाता है एक एसेट. That is when we call that person a human capital. And you see, this is the human capital that we were discussing about, right? So this entire process is called as human capital formation. अब इसी को आगे बढ़ा के मैं आपको एक एग्जाम्पल दूंगी एक कंट्री का, जो है जापान. We all know that Japan is a place which is prone to natural calamities. So it faces a lot of natural calamities almost every year. But then also it falls back so strong. So what is the reason behind Japan being that developed more than our country, when it has a very less population as compared to our country, India? So the secret behind that is that Japan in the very early ages understood the importance of education and health. So Japan has worked tremendously in this area on educating its people, on making them skilled and knowledgeable, and also it has taken care of the health of its people. So when the people are educated, they have the right skill and the right knowledge, and when they are healthy, their productivity goes higher and higher. So these people then turn into a resource, or what we call them as the human capital. So Japan is one example of this area where it has worked excellently well in educating its people, and that is why it has achieved that rate. One thing is very clear now, that investment on human resource, investment in their health and education, can give very high returns in the future. So when we are sending a child for school and we are investing on his nutrition and hygiene, we are not just helping this child, we are helping the nation as a whole. So when we are sending our children for studying in schools, when we are giving them education, we are not just making them skilled, but we're making them productive enough that one day they can earn not just for themselves, but they can earn and get money to the country. So through this, we are going to be studying two concepts of virtuous cycle and vicious cycle. So the parents who understand the importance of health and who understand the importance of education will definitely send their children to school and will look after their food, nutrition and hygiene. And this person who's now skilled and educated and healthy will also send his child for schooling and will take care of his well-being. So in the process, a chain is created, a cycle is created, which is known as a virtuous cycle, where every generation, every coming generation is healthy and is skilled and educated. Just opposite to that is the vicious cycle. So vicious cycle is where the disadvantaged parents, जो लोगों के पास पैसा नहीं होता, जो गरीब होते हैं और जो ये सोचते हैं कि बच्चे को स्कूल भेजने की जगह हम उससे काम करा लें, कुछ पैसा कमा लें, those who have that mentality, जो खुद disadvantaged है और अपने बच्चे को भी उसी स्टेट में रखना चाहते हैं, he will not send his child for schooling and will also not take care of his food, nutrition and health. So in the process you will see that everybody remains unskilled. So the parent, his child and then his child, all of them remain uneducated and unhealthy, and therefore they prove to be a liability for a country and not an asset in case of a vicious cycle. But in case of a virtuous cycle, all of them are skilled, they've got proper education, they have knowledge, they have skills. So all of them are skilled and all of them are healthy enough to earn today and in the future. So you see, by investing on the health and education of a child, we can reap a high return in the future. That is all for this part of the video. I hope you've enjoyed the content. Please hit the like button and also share the video with others. And for more such exciting videos, please subscribe to my channel, Neha Jani Classes. Thank you very much.